Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Outpost Review. What I thought I would talk about today is my power versus my battery. Now you all have watched a lot of the videos that we've done up here. Of course, if you're new to this channel, there's several hundred videos to go back and watch. But pretty much when I came here, I had a generator, or I purchased a generator because I had corded power tools. And you know, that's something that you can always rely on as long as the generator's running and you keep it maintained. And you've got power. The power tools are really, really nice because you know, a lot of times the battery, if you need real power, then you're going to have the generator. Now, a lot of the technology has changed in these battery operated tools. I'll just give you an example. This Metabo circle saw right here, in comparison to that, they cut really well. Now I don't know how long this would have lasted when I was cutting my beams on my tenons and so forth, but when I started working on the floor and working on the 2x10s, it did a really good job. I actually was able to work cutting the 2x10s, and it pretty much did maybe a section a day. But it would be 2 days before I would actually have to take this and charge it. So that's basically I could get 2 sections done. I don't know, that's 9, 18, probably 22x10s that I cut with this before I ever had to charge it. And that was both ends, of course, and some 2x10s that I actually put up on the bottom for like a little ledge for those to sit on. But this Metabo, it's got a 36-volt battery right here. This battery, let me show you that. This battery right here will last quite a bit. And I've also got a spare battery with it. But this is the Milwaukee corded saw, is the one I actually used when I was cutting out most of these, or actually all of these beams, tenons and so forth, and a lot of the building that I did up here. And of course, I had a cordless drill right here. This is just a cheap one. It's a Ryobi. Then I happened to be at the lumber store one day and they had some tools on sale, and I think I picked that DeWalt corded hammer drill up for $50. It was brand new. Didn't have a box or anything with it, but I went ahead and purchased it. And it's a nice drill. You know, if I ever need power for a long time, and I'm talking about torque, power, then that DeWalt drill, you know, I can always run the generator. The thing is, building up here, and especially by myself, if I'm down on the ground, it's not a big deal because I can turn the generator on and off if I'm not using it. But if I'm up in the house here, the generator's outside, or if I'm up on a beam, let's say, or up on the roof, or whatever, wherever I was at, I'd turn the generator on, I'd be using the tool, and then if I didn't need to use the tool, I didn't want the generator to just run, okay? That's wear and tear on it, that's fuel expenses and so forth, so I would turn the generator off. Then when I would need it again, I would climb down or walk over, turn it back on, and continue, because I don't have any power up here. So the battery became more and more apparent that it would possibly be something that I could really use. My son said that a lot of the technology had changed. I wasn't aware of it, but they've made changes in the gearing, I guess, in the batteries, longer life and so forth. And so he started purchasing different tools for me. Right here I've got my, like I said, corded circle saw and my battery operated. I've got my corded drill, my battery operated drill. I've got my corded angle grinder, and then I've got my battery operated one. This was the first impact drill that I had, and my son got me this one because this one doesn't last a long time and it's not as powerful as this one, the Milwaukee. We just got this right here. This is the planer. Man, this is really, really, really nice. And then of course, this is my air compressor. This is the gun that I use on the air compressor, my framing nailer. then this is the new battery operated one that you have probably seen me using in some of the videos. So I thought I would lay those out there. I've got some other power tools, but I don't have any battery operated tool to actually compare to it. Now, like I said, this Metabo skill saw is really nice. It's built very well. It's got a nice frame on the bottom of it. This is the motor right here, of course the battery, and then you have to press this button in order to pull the trigger to get it to work, and it does have a brake on it. That's really nice. It seems to be, like I said, well built, and it works really well, and the battery lasts a long time. So I'm very happy with this Metabo saw. Now, the difference between the power tools and the battery operated tools, of course, is the price. The battery powered are going to be a whole lot more expensive. If I remember correctly, we gave, not really sure, it was around, and don't quote me on this, but I think it was around $200 for the saw, but the two batteries, that was the real expense. Just like this angle grinder right here. Two of these batteries were $279, almost $300. But it's well worth it because these batteries last a long time. And this really has a lot of torque. I'm really happy with this angle grinder too. The other one that I had was actually a cheap Harbor Freight angle grinder. And when I was grinding the fire brick out for the fire pit up there, cutting them in half so that I could have some to lay in the bottom, I guess it got dusty and the switch stuck on it, so now the switch doesn't work. When you plug it in, you got to make sure and have it laying on its back because the wheel's going to start turning. But that was the angle grinder that I had. This Ryobi drill, battery power drill, it's nice. It doesn't have a lot of power. It doesn't last a long time, and it could be because of the battery. But you know, it's got me by. I think the next one I get will be a nice one, either Milwaukee or DeWalt, because you kind of get what you pay for. But I needed that in a pinch, and that's what I got because it was on sale. But I'll tell you something. This Milwaukee impact driver, this thing, of course, it's got different speeds on it. Let me show you this. You can see right here the little light that's on. I've got it on a speed 2 so that it doesn't just totally drive the screws through the wood. But you can set it on whatever you want. The battery lasts a long time, and this thing has a lot of power. This planer, you've probably seen me using it. This is a really nice planer, and again, it uses the 60-volt battery on the back right there, and it's got different settings up here. You've probably seen me talk about this before when I first got it, and of course this is where all the material comes out. But this is really nice. Here's the head on the back of it right here. It's got two blades. There's one right there, and then the other one is basically on the flip side of it right there. So this thing, let me turn it on. It works really well, and of course with that big battery it will last quite some time. Probably need to clean some of that out of there. But yeah, this planer, I can highly recommend this because it does work really well. This is the big boy that we just got. This is the Milwaukee framing nailer. This uses the 36 volt, just like the other Milwaukee impact driver. So now I've got 3 of these batteries. And this is pretty heavy duty. I think it weighs 11 pounds. This is where you adjust how deep you want the nail to go. And I do have an extended magazine that will actually hold 30, but I haven't put it on there yet. But this is really, really nice, and it's heavy duty too. So now, what does all of this mean? I basically wanted to share with you all the power equipment that I had, and I'm slowly replacing that with battery operated equipment. Like I said, if I need something to go long and hard, I will crank up the generator and plug in my power tools. But these right here, I have been using these pretty much every day. They're doing the job that I need to do. And because I'm not where I can actually go home and just charge the batteries, I do take them at night with me. I take them home and I recharge to make sure that I've got all the batteries charged up when I come out the next day. But I do have the power tools in the event that one of these was to stop. I can go crank the generator up and use that. But the thing that is really nice is the efficiency with not having, to being able to use the tool and not actually have the cord, to have to drag the cord. Especially when I was up on the roof, a lot of times the cord would get hung up on something if I was trying to maneuver, you know, from one end to the other. And, you know, I'd have to make sure that the connection, you know, I had that portion of the cord tied together so it wouldn't pull apart, wouldn't hang on anything. These tools right here, you don't have that issue with them. So that's nice to have. As long as you've got a spare battery, you know, pretty much I think you're good to go working all day, because up here, you know, I don't run any races with my work, but I'm steady at it, and they seem to be lasting and doing the job, and I never really run out of battery. But these tools right here are, like I said, they're fairly expensive. I think this, with the batteries, we gave around $4.50 for this angle grinder. This right here, I'm not really sure. It was around $400 or so. Well, no, maybe, yeah, because we did get some extra batteries with this too. So, and then this right here, I'm not sure. I think the nail gun was a little cheaper. Maybe it was around $300. Patrick knows all of that. Now, I want you guys to remember to stay tuned, because we're going to have some more videos coming out with these things actually in use. I just want to kind of break the ice today and talk about the difference, maybe a few differences in them, plus kind of relate to you how I'm slowly replacing all of my power corded tools with the battery operated tools.
Can I share something with them?
Is it going to cost them anything?
Nope. Listen, y'all, this is free first-hand knowledge, okay? So, if you'll hold that for me. Okay. You see this right here? I was putting down the floors the other day, and you heard him say, that has power. This doesn't have that much power, so men, grab your daughters, make sure you buy the Milwaukee, okay? Give her the one she's really got to use elbow grease so that she can earn her keep. Because that's exactly what he did with me.
But, you know, leave me some comments about what kind of tools you've got and the things that you like, and maybe other people can pick up on that in the comment section, and we can kind of share information on tools. Now, why do I have a Metabo circle saw, a DeWalt angle grinder, a Milwaukee impact driver, a Milwaukee framing nailer, and a DeWalt planer? Why do I have a Ryobi drill? Okay, well, the Ryobi, just kind of forget that. The reason that we have these is my son, he tries to look at what's available, and he tries to look at the reviews. Now the Metabo, I didn't want to have to wait on going to the store, which was several miles away from where I live actually, and not just here. because I needed something then. So he had this ordered and had it shipped, and I went and picked it up. But this had really good reviews on it. I think he wanted to get me the Milwaukee one, but that had really good reviews on it. The angle grinder had really good reviews. The planer, the Milwaukee drill had, or impact drill had really good reviews. The Milwaukee framing nailer had really good reviews. He takes a look at the reviews, and we kind of decide on our purchase based on that. Because DeWalt doesn't make all the best stuff in all these different things. Milwaukee doesn't make all the best tools in all these different things. Neither does Metabo. So that's the reason that I have different ones. Yes, I could have went with one particular one, but we're kind of going based on the reviews. Some people say that the collet on this doesn't actually hold this in here. I've never had a problem with it. There is a certain way to put that in there, and I got to make sure that it's locked, but once it's in there, it never comes out. The power was the reason that we got this one right here, because it had really good reviews on it. So that's the reason that I have different tools. All I need is batteries, and I can swap them out. You know, if I had 6 tools and I only had 6 batteries, all right, that means that I could use but you know, I use so many different tools in a day's time that they may all wear out. But I've got, like I say, a couple of batteries with each one of these, and I'm really good to go. So as far as the reviews go, that's the reason that we purchased the different ones, because of the good review that it had from the people that use these types of tools all the time and commented on those. So that's the reason that I have different ones. Like I say, if I get something else that's Metabo, I've got extra batteries. If I get more DeWalt, I've got batteries. If I get Milwaukee, I've got batteries. So that's kind of the reason that I have a mix and match of these based on the plus, the positives that the people talked about who use a lot of battery operated equipment. Well guys, that's going to be it for the review on the tools. I just wanted to share with you how I'm slowly replacing my corded equipment with cordless equipment. But Jennifer's had a chance to use a lot of those tools. She's used the impact driver, she used the nailer, and she has used the little Ryobi drill before. I think that was her first piece of equipment when I was working on the sawmill shed. Remember, you came up and you helped me put siding on?
He's telling a story. He's forgetting that he made me use a hammer. You all, I am no good at using a hammer and trying to hit the nail on the head, okay? That's what we done. It was the nail.
But we had to drill the holes.
Well, yes, that's true too. We did drill holes. I forgot that part. But
see, you were telling the story.
I guess I was. But he literally was like, oh, my back hurts. I can't finish this. He was just like telling a story. He just wanted me to finish the rest of it. And here I am struggling to hit the nail on the head.
And I think that was when I was in EMS and I had injured my back and it was bothering me to try to finish that up. But anyway, that's where she first learned to use the drill. And so she's become pretty accomplished with that. So I'm still reluctant to let her use the chainsaw. And
that'll probably be an ever.
We'll work her up to driving the tractor.
Absolutely.
She's a speed demon though, so that worries me.
Yep, gotta watch the tires.
Anywho, I hope that you enjoyed this little segment, and like I said, you can stay tuned in the future, because I'm going to talk about those power tools in use and show you how they work actually. So if you're in the market for them, I can honestly recommend each one of those that I talked about. And then my son, you know, he's going to talk about some of the specifics about the why and what is behind all of the information on those tools. Because when I tell him I need something, he's the one that looks it up. He's the one that orders it and has it shipped to her place, and then I go and I pick it up. But Anyway, like I said, yeah, stay tuned for future videos on the use of all of those. Hope everyone has a great afternoon. Take care. We look forward to seeing you back at the Outpost again next time.
See ya.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Say, I've got big paws to fill. He's such a good boy.